Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about chapter 9. The name of the chapter is Government Organization, new textbook, page number 76. See, in the last class we have completed about the multinational corporation. Now this is also one type of organization. Here we are going to elaborately know about the state government, central government and the public corporation. So it is called as government organization. So what do you mean by a government can own any industry and business? See, there are two points has been given in our textbook. First one is by starting a new unit in the sense new industry, or by taking over an existing or a commercial unit owned by the private persons. So there will be a mixed ownership between the private and the government also. It happens. So these are the two objectives of that. How can we establish? So how does a government company can establish? These are the two points. Now we are moving to the meaning of the departmental undertaking. See, departmental means each department will be an under head of a minister. So most probably this belongs to a central government. Okay. So each department, the central minister will be the head of the department. Then below that followed by the members, the other general body members and the head of the department and all. So the meaning of the department form of organization is example, the railways, the postal, telegraph, broadcast communication, that means all India radio. These are all comes under the departmental heads. Now next we move on to the characteristics of the departmental undertaking. Ultimate responsibility, because it is full and full 100% comes under the departmental undertaking, responsible to the parliament or the state legislature of the affairs of the departmental undertaking, and the finance is full and full contributed by the government. All the budget transaction, accounting work, auditing procedure, everything which are applicable to almost all the departments, and it can be managed by the civil servants who are applicable as the civil servants to the government. So these are the characteristics. Now next is, what are the advantages of the departmental organization? First one is easy formation. It is easy to set up a departmental undertaking. It is created by an administrative decision made by the government. Direct control of the parliament. Secrecy can be maintained because two important departments, that means the atomic and the defense industries, we need a secrecy to maintain in order to avoid certain enmities. So 100% secrecy can be maintained, lesser burden tax on public, then instruments made for the social changes, lesser risk of misusing of the public money. Then the disadvantages, red tapeism. Red tapeism means too much of government procedure involved. So it takes time to implement. Then immediately implementing the additional taxation, it will be dumped on the hands of the general public. Lack of competition also be prevailing because they are under the still in the old methods which are following. So they are not aware to based on the competition which is prevailing in the current situation. Then casual approach to work. Almost all the offices in the departmental undertaking are subject to frequent transfer. So they are not able to concentrate in a particular department. Then a government interference is more. So since an excessive government control, so there is no freedom to given to decide their own policies to be framing. Okay, so these are the merits and demerits of departmental undertaking. So again, I'll revise. We started with the government organization. How do we establish? So there are 2 points: the meaning of a departmental organization, the characteristics, the merits, and the demerits. So again, we'll be continuing with that, the next type of government organization. Thank you and good day, students.